Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate, for the first time, I've never done this before, create what's called a non-removable key. And the purpose for doing so is I have a client who requires a thumb turn. We need an 1 3/8 long, US 5 or 609 mortise thumb turn, and we need it today. Well, the Schlage 80-101, this is actually an 80-103 because of the cam on the back, the MS cam. We can insert into that a small format core with our control key. Then I can create what the list council would call a non-removable key. The list council is a group of leaders within the locksmithing industry that have come together and over the years created basically a dictionary. And the list council is, and I will show you a link to where that document is, it's the locksmith dictionary is what it is. So we are, and I'm looking at it, we are creating what is defined as a non-removable key, a key which has one or more cuts on it which trap the key in the lock upon insertion. Why you might need to do that? You might need to give out various keys, and the person who can't give you back their key, that's the one that's trapped in the cylinder. There might be needs or reasons to do that, and it's basically altering the cuts on the key so that it is trapped. I've never done this before. I think it'll work. I know theoretically how it works. I don't know if this key will work. Other keys that come to mind, other definitions would be entrapment key, a key designed to be captured in the cylinder upon insertion. That is something that you should be able to remove by disassembly. There's also a key trap core or cylinder, a special core or cylinder designed to capture any key that, to which it is combinated. Once the key is inserted and turned slightly, there will be a special arrangement of a pin and a drilled hole that when you put a particular key in there and you turn it, there's going to be a tumbler that's going to come down and freeze that cylinder from moving again. I don't know if that... I think when you order those cylinder housings, there will be access to that extra hole that's been drilled for that chamber so that you can disassemble that and reuse that cylinder. So that can be done. A lockout key is similar to what I'm going to do to this key. A lockout key is made in two pieces. One piece is trapped in the keyway by the tumblers when inserted and blocks entry of any regular key. The second piece is used to remove the first. Basically, take a key and cut it in half. You're going to insert that first half into the cylinder, into the broaching of the cylinder plug. It has a cut feature on it that can't be pulled out without the other part, which is really it's a key, but it's a removal tool as well, that will lift up the chambers, let's say in 1, 2, and 3, or in small format, 7, 6, and 5, let's say. Lift those tumblers to shear and provide the ability to pull out that inserted lock blockout section of the key. And basically what we end up doing is just to demonstrate what will happen here. You've got a key, and what we're going to end up doing is cutting the key like this, so that when the pin tumbler sits in that chamber, because of that 90-degree cut, that pin tumbler is not going to be able to ride up the angled cut of the key. It's going to get stuck there. The client wants that. They don't ever want to remove this. There will be no means short of destructive bypass to remove this core from the housing once that is done. So let's see if this is going to work. that may work. I've changed that cut to where it is. We're looking at the seventh, pardon me, we're looking at the seventh cut. That is square enough to the point that that pin tumbler may not ride out, but I've really not changed the depth of where the pin needs to sit. So the bottom line is this will either go in the core and never come out, or it will go in the core and come out, which means I have to change the cut of the profile of the cut. So the first thing to do is to insert the core with the control key into the housing. Okay, the core is inserted in. Now I'm going to put what will end up becoming the thumb turn in there. I have a mallet here. I may or may not need it. It turns, and it does come out. So I'm going to need to alter that cut, and maybe alter a couple of other cuts as well. So let's continue altering these cuts. Yeah, well, the cuts are not deep enough to where the angle on the bottom of the pin may not be, it might be tall enough to where it's still riding out. And I might have to use more than a file to do this. Yeah, it still comes out. Okay, let's pause this. Let me get a bigger tool. So I've got my Ritan RY200, and what I'm going to attempt is to make a slot into that key, and because that's a deeper cut, and it may give us the sheer face that the pin can't ride up to be removed. We may have altered the key beyond what it'll take for it to still work. And I believe it's because these cuts aren't actually deep enough. I'm not able to cut them deep enough. That's the feature that I'm going for right there. That aggressively deep cut. Try it. That did it, I think. And it doesn't come out. It moves out one position. It still operates. Oh, it did come out. Let's push that a little bit further. The key is to not disrupt the root depth of the cut itself. Obviously, using your key machine as a file is something I don't necessarily endorse. I've got that cut really deep there, and that feature does indeed look like what a blackout key looks like. Still works. It doesn't come out now, I don't think. Yeah, I can't pull that out now. It's trapped in there. So what I would do in the future if I were to do it again... Oh. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Made a couple of additional modifications. We'll see if that's gonna trap that key in there. Amazingly, the key still works, but I mean, not amazing. Well, what's amazing is the key continues to come out. There's no way that should still work. Okay. Yeah, I think what I've done is I've created the trough. I've created a cut like that, in the sense that those two pins are still being held up where they need to be, but as soon as I pull that key out, the one pin is coming down into this position here. And I can push it back up. The key does come out one space. I can push it back up and get it lodged into where it needs to be, and then it resumes this position. But it's obviously getting caught right here, right there. That's why I can't continue to pull it out. At least that's what I believe is happening inside this cylinder. Oh, and then it came out. You know what I believe we're dealing with? This started out as a green construction core from Best. I don't think that there are 7 pins in here. And I think what I've been modifying, I can see, yeah, we are definitely missing . There are empty chambers here. That is just simply the bottom line. There are definitely empty chambers here. It looks as if there may be only 3 in the back. Pardon me, positions 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put this back in, and I'm going to alter only those cuts and see if that gets us there. Oh, no. Yeah, we're fine. That is definitely what the issue is with that. There are not cuts, it's not combinated in every chamber. We've got a control key that works. And we've got an operating key that works for this cylinder. And what's nice is it has a deep cut right where I would like it to be. I think the key's still going to move a little bit on us. So let's remove this green construction core, because our attempt at making a non-removable key has not succeeded with this. It's succeeded partially, but not, the key will come out. Now we'll leave that mystery for another moment. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we've got a different cylinder here that has not only chamber pins in all chambers, but it's got a good deep cut where it is my intention to have enough depth there to modify the cut of the key. So we know that this key operates, so let's try to modify it and see what happens. The good thing about this modification is I've got more of these if this doesn't work. I'm going to make one additional modification to it quickly. Now I've basically obliterated that 7th cut, except that I've left the plateau such that it should still really work. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that did it. Yeah. So what have we learned? This ain't coming out. So, yeah, this is now a non-removable key, what we've created. It moves slightly, just the amount of the distance to where I cut the key back at a 90-degree angle, and the movement of that pin, because all the other 6 pins, they'll move back and forth like they're supposed to. But now this won't. This is forever trapped there. Okay. So, if you'll forgive this drawing, in that 7th chamber, I've created this cut so that the pin will reside right here, sitting on just enough real estate so that it still operates. But when we move it out of the way, when we go to pull the key out, it now sits here. It can't climb over that 90-degree cut. And that's what we've done inside of this. So we've created a non-removable key. Now, what have I learned? I've never done this before, but I know in my head how it would work. Based on the principle of seeing other keys, you know, you could... There are people online that sell keys that are cut not unlike this, and all that they're meant to do is to disable a lock. You could take this, you could take a key like this, you could take a key and cut it and shove it into the cylinder, and someone comes home and their key won't go in because there's a trapped key inside of it. So you can buy those. Short of disabling someone from going in a lock, and the only means of restoring that lock to proper operating condition is some means of bypass. If you can get to the cylinder core, you can service that possibly. Think of a profile cylinder. If you're familiar with profile cylinders, they have set screws that you can remove. They've got springs. They've got drivers. If someone did this to a profile cylinder, take the cylinder out, dump that pin out, that offending pin out, pull the key out, or dump them all out, then pull the key out, and it would work just fine. In this case, because I made the cut in the seventh chamber, which in small format, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I put it in the first chamber, I'd have a hell of a time pulling that out. In that profile cylinder scenario, I'd have to remove all of those Allen screws, springs, and driver pins. But this is how that happens. This has happened. So the only obvious downside is that the face of the core is not US 5, but it's in a complementary finish. The client may dress that up or doctor that to some point, but it does indeed work. I regret that this video is, one take, one recording, but I do personally enjoy the path of discovery, not knowing where we'll end up, not knowing if it'll work, and you joining me for that. So for that, I say thank you very much. If there's any questions on any locksmithing topics, I may be able to answer it. And if I can't, I just might be able to tap the shoulder of those people who can. So please feel free to reach out. Thank you. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.